In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to thread an overlocker for a 2-thread overlock. I'm using my Babylock Imagine machine, and clearly if you've got a different make or model of machine you will need to refer to your user handbook, but the overall principles of the process will be similar, so it's still a useful reference point. So for the 2-thread overlock we're going to be threading the right needle and the lower looper. So I'm going to start by raising my presser foot, because that should always be raised for threading, and I'm going to open the front cover and the blade cover just so you can see what's going on with the machine whilst I'm threading it. To thread the right needle, I've placed the thread spool on the thread stand second from the left, and I've taken the thread up through the telescopic guide at the top, and I'm bringing it down, clicking it into position in the thread guide third from the left on the top of the machine. Bring it down the front, across, round the back of that thread guide, up, across and down. And then I need to get the needle into the correct position for threading, and to do that I need to rotate the hand wheel towards me until the green line on the hand wheel matches it with the green line on the casing of the machine. I'm then going to use my needle threader. So I've selected R for right needle on the needle threader, and I'm just going to put the thread behind the thread guide in front of the needles and depress this lever, which brings the needle threader into action. Loop the thread round the edge of the needle threader and it just pulls it through to the back like so. And then I just need to manually keep pulling the thread until it's through, and I'm just going to slip it under the presser foot here, because I like to know that when that presser foot is depressed everything will be held into position, and also it keeps things nice and neatly out of the way whilst you do your other threading. So the next thing to thread is the lower looper. On my Babylock machine there's a jet air threading system, which is a fantastic feature of Babylock machines and makes threading the loopers incredibly easy. For anybody who's got a manual machine, once you see how easy this is, you really will appreciate what a wonderful feature it is. The thread is placed on the thread stand, which is furthest to the right and at the front of the machine, and I've put the thread through the telescopic guide at the top. I'm then going to click it into the thread guide to the far right, bring it down to the front, and just make sure I've got plenty of thread to work with. I need to lock the machine because this brings 2 tubes into position here, which allow the thread to be guided up and round and through the relevant looper. So to lock the machine, I'm just going to push this button and rotate the hand wheel towards me until it clicks into place. There we go. And then I'm just going to pop a little bit of this thread, probably ½ an inch or so, into the threading port. I'm popping it into the lower looper threading port, and I've pushed this switch across to L for lower looper. And then this is where the fun bit happens. This is where you just depress this lever and the thread flies out through the lower looper. It's so easy with a jet air threading system. Makes it such an easy process instead of fiddling around with tweezers. And that is your lower looper threaded. Now all I need to do is engage the subsidiary looper, which is this little gadget here, and you can see it's on a spring, so I'm just pushing a little bit of pressure under there and it'll flip into place. And then there is a point on the end of it that just needs to be inserted into a groove, which is on the back side of the upper looper. And just click that into place there and you're ready to go. We need to also unlock the machine for sewing and serging, so I'm just going to slide that lever across there so it's in the unlocked position and close the casing. I've selected B on the stitch selector because that's the one that is recommended in the manual, and then depending on what technique you're going to use, refer to your manual for stitch width and stitch length options. And then I'm just going to run a chain of stitches to make sure that everything's working as it should be. So I'll just take this thread here and run a chain of stitches. And you can see there that I've got a chain of stitches running and my machine is ready to go.